chosen one, the admiration flowing toward your energy field right now would absolutely stagger you if the source was revealed. Someone you'd never expect has become your biggest fan, and they're about to make a move that changes everything. The universe is literally orchestrating an offer that's going to blow your mind, and the synchronicities aligning around this convergence are screaming that your breakthrough moment has arrived with divine precision that cannot be denied. The frequency signature emanating from your being has triggered ancient recognition protocols. Someone of significant influence, someone whose approval seemed impossible or irrelevant, has been documenting your journey with the intensity of a scholar studying sacred texts. This isn't casual observation, this is deliberate reconnaissance by a mind that recognizes potential when others see only struggle. The very qualities that made you feel isolated, different, misunderstood, are the exact characteristics that caught their attention months ago. Your transformation wasn't accidental. Every public setback, every moment when you chose resilience over retreat, every instance where you displayed strength when the world expected weakness, these moments created ripples that reached shores you never imagined. The boss who barely acknowledges your presence respects your hustle more than any employee handbook could measure. The former adversary who challenged your beliefs walks away from conversations with you, questioning everything they thought they knew about strength. The stranger who witnessed your grace under pressure carries your example like a torch in their memory. The first revelation that will shatter your current understanding is that this admirer has been wrestling with an internal conflict for weeks. They've built their entire identity around being selective, impossible to impress, someone who sees through facades with surgical precision. Yet something about your consistency during chaos has penetrated defenses they didn't know could be breached. The evidence they've collected about your character contradicts every cynical assumption they've held about human nature, and this contradiction is driving them toward an action that surprises even them. The energy you've been embodying lately commands respect in ways that transcend traditional power structures. Men respect you regardless of your gender. Women see leadership qualities they aspire to develop. Colleagues observe your consistency and wonder how someone maintains such unwavering focus while navigating the same storms that leave others devastated. This isn't luck. This is the ice crown phenomenon, where emotional mastery through trial by fire creates an aura of unshakable presence that others instinctively recognize and revere. The person tracking your evolution represents everything you thought was beyond your reach: higher status, different sphere entirely, someone whose attention seemed impossible to capture. Yet their research into your background reveals obsessive attention to detail that borders on reverence. They've studied your responses to adversity, analyzed your growth patterns during difficult periods, noted your consistency when others would have quit. What started as professional curiosity has evolved into something resembling awe, and this transformation within them is creating pressure that demands release through action. Every challenge that felt overwhelming served a precise function in developing your persuasion abilities. The stubborn-minded people who pushed against every reasonable argument taught you to find pathways around resistance rather than through it. The energy vampires who drained your resources forced you to develop boundaries that now protect your frequency from interference. The setbacks that seemed to delay your progress actually accelerated your emotional intelligence to levels that most people never achieve. These weren't obstacles, they were training protocols designed to forge someone capable of influencing outcomes others consider impossible. Your capacity to reach unreachable minds has been documented by someone who values this ability beyond measure. They've witnessed your impact on individuals they considered hopeless cases, observed your talent for bridging gaps between opposing viewpoints, recognized your skill at transforming conflict into collaboration. This observer needs someone with precisely these capabilities for a situation they've been unable to resolve through conventional methods. Your unique combination of persistence and persuasion represents the missing element in their current strategy. The spiritual warfare, intensifying around your path, carries signatures that reveal the magnitude of what approaches. Opposition forces recognize threat levels with mathematical precision, and the interference patterns increasing around your daily life indicate proximity to breakthroughs that would fundamentally alter your influence capacity. The sudden multiplication of distractions isn't random, it's targeted disruption designed to prevent you from maintaining the focus necessary to recognize and accept the opportunity being prepared for your consideration. The mysterious technical difficulties plaguing your important projects, the unexpected conflicts arising from previously stable relationships, the sudden demands on your time from people who contribute nothing to your growth. These form a coordinated campaign to fragment your attention during the crucial window when clarity is most essential. The forces opposing your elevation understand that scattered focus during pivotal moments can delay destiny for years, and they're deploying every available distraction to prevent you from perceiving the signs of approaching transformation. Your recent isolation phases weren't withdrawal, but strategic positioning for connections that require your complete frequency bandwidth. The divine intelligence orchestrating your path required removal of influences that couldn't match your elevated vibration. Every relationship that dissolved, every opportunity that seemed to vanish, every door that closed, these weren't rejections but course corrections, eliminating variables that would have diluted the purity of what's being prepared for your emergence. The loneliness that accompanied this clearing process served essential purposes beyond simple separation. During solitude, your consciousness expanded to accommodate frequencies that crowded environments couldn't support. Your intuitive abilities sharpened to levels where manipulation becomes immediately recognizable, where authentic opportunities can be distinguished from clever deceptions, where divine timing reveals itself through patterns that busy minds miss entirely. This enhanced discernment will prove crucial when the offer arrives, because the source will seem so unlikely that lesser awareness might dismiss it as impossible. The transformation occurring within your energy field extends far beyond personal development. You're experiencing complete recalibration of your influence mechanisms. The glow that everyone notices isn't cosmetic enhancement, but internal radiance breaking through dimensional barriers that previously contained your natural luminosity. Your presence now carry electromagnetic signatures that automatically elevate the consciousness of everyone within your proximity. This is why conversations with you leave people fundamentally changed, why your example creates transformation without deliberate effort, why your consistency through adversity generates such profound impact on observers. The financial abundance preparing to enter your reality reflects not reward for past suffering, but recognition of current capacity to handle resources responsibly. Your demonstrated ability to maintain integrity during scarcity, to continue developing gifts without external validation, to keep showing up regardless of apparent progress, these qualities have established you as someone capable of managing significant resources without corruption. The money approaching isn't comfort, but ammunition for missions that require material backing to achieve their intended scale. Your performance-based work with its natural fluctuations has been testing your emotional stability during uncertainty. The months when earnings dropped, when results seemed disconnected from effort, when consistency felt unrewarded, these periods were evaluation phases designed to confirm your commitment transcends external validation. The person who's been observing your journey has noted your response to these cycles, particularly your refusal to compromise quality during lean periods, and this consistency has convinced them that you're someone who can be trusted with opportunities that others might exploit for short-term gain. The star quality emerging through your presence has captured attention from spheres where your talents can reach their intended magnitude. The creative projects you've been developing, the skills you've been refining in obscurity, the vision you've been nurturing despite lack of immediate validation, these weren't personal hobbies but preparation for platforms that require exactly what you've been building. The research conducted by your unknown admirer has revealed the sophistication of your development process, and they've recognized preparation patterns that indicate readiness for elevation beyond current circumstances. Something remarkable has been happening behind the scenes of your daily reality. While you've been focused on immediate challenges and incremental progress, a complex orchestration has been arranging elements for a convergence that will demonstrate the precision of divine timing. The person preparing to approach you has been guided through their own preparation process, developing awareness of what they need and clarity about where to find it. Their path has been synchronized with yours through mechanisms that neither of you consciously directed, but both unconsciously participated in creating. The opportunity crystallizing around your energy signature carries weight that will reshape not just your immediate circumstances, but your entire conception of what becomes possible when preparation meets precision timing. This isn't gradual improvement, but quantum transformation, catapulting you into environments where your influence can reach populations that need exactly what you've been developing through your struggles. The scope of impact encoded in this approaching offer exceeds your current vision by orders of magnitude. The person who will extend this opportunity represents a bridge between your current reality and the platform you've been unconsciously preparing to occupy. Their status, resources, and connections provide access to spheres where your particular combination of gifts can achieve maximum effectiveness. More importantly, their recognition of your capabilities will accelerate your own understanding of what you're truly equipped to accomplish when properly positioned and resourced. The internal anxiety you've been experiencing lately isn't fear, but anticipation. Your consciousness responding to approaching transformation before your rational mind recognizes the signs. The restlessness driving you to evaluate current circumstances, the dissatisfaction with situations that previously felt adequate, the increasing clarity about what you will and won't accept. These are recalibration symptoms as your frequency adjusts to accommodate expanded possibilities. The tests you've been facing recently serve final verification purposes, confirming your readiness for responsibilities that require unshakable character. Every situation that challenged your integrity provided an opportunity to demonstrate the principles you'll need when handling significant influence. Every person who tested your boundaries revealed whether you've developed the discernment necessary to protect your mission from those who would exploit access for personal gain. Every moment when you chose long-term vision over short-term comfort proved your commitment to purposes larger than immediate satisfaction. The convergence approaching will validate every intuitive choice you made that seemed illogical to outside observers. The relationships you ended despite social pressure, the opportunities you declined despite financial temptation, the standards you maintained despite criticism, these decisions aligned your reality with frequencies that match what's been prepared for your arrival. The person who recognizes your value has been searching for someone who operates from principles rather than desperation, and your track record of choosing integrity over convenience has qualified you for opportunities that require unwavering character. The abundance encoded in your immediate future carries momentum that will establish new baselines for what you consider normal in terms of resources, respect, and reach. This isn't temporary improvement, but permanent elevation to operating levels that match your developed consciousness. The financial breakthrough approaching will provide not just comfort, but capacity to pursue visions that required material backing you previously lacked. The recognition accompanying these changes will confirm capabilities you've been developing in obscurity, validating years of work that seem to produce minimal external results. The influence platform being prepared for your occupation requires someone with your specific combination of qualities: resilience that can't be shaken, persuasion abilities that can reach resistant minds, transformation skills that inspire others to evolve, and consciousness that remains uncorrupted by success. The person who will offer you this position has tested many candidates and found them lacking the essential elements that you've developed through your unique journey. Your struggles weren't punishment, but forging processes that created someone capable of handling what ordinary preparation couldn't support. The timing of this convergence reflects divine precision that human planning cannot achieve. Every delay you experienced was synchronization with preparation happening in parallel dimensions of the same cosmic plan. The person approaching you has been guided through their own development process, acquiring resources and awareness necessary to recognize what you represent and provide what you need. Their readiness has been coordinated with yours through mechanisms that operate beyond conscious awareness but produce results that feel simultaneously shocking and inevitable. The offer materializing in your near future will require courage to accept because it stretches beyond your current self-concept. The platform being offered exceeds your present comfort zone by design. Growth occurs at the intersection of preparation and challenge, and this opportunity has been calibrated to activate potentials that safer choices would leave dormant. The person extending this offer believes in capabilities you're still discovering, and their faith will accelerate your expansion into the fullness of what you're designed to become. The patterns emerging around your daily existence reveal layers of complexity that suggest masterful coordination operating beyond visible mechanisms. Random encounters that felt coincidental have been accumulating into a database of impressions that paint a comprehensive picture of your character under various conditions. The way you handled the dismissive colleague who questioned your methods, your response to the client who tested your patience beyond reasonable limits, your grace when facing criticism that cut deeper than professional disagreement. Each interaction has been observed and catalogued by consciousness that recognizes the rarity of authentic strength. Your admirer has been conducting subtle investigations into your background, not through invasive means but through careful attention to public evidence of your growth trajectory. The evolution visible in your work output over extended periods tells a story of dedication that impresses someone accustomed to witnessing people abandon their pursuits when immediate gratification doesn't materialize. The quality improvements in your creative projects, the refinement in your professional presentations, the deepening sophistication in your problem-solving approaches, these progressive developments have convinced a critical observer that you possess something most people lack entirely. The resistance you've encountered from unexpected sources recently has been testing more than your patience. It's been revealing your capacity to maintain mission focus while navigating interpersonal chaos. The sudden emergence of conflicts with people who previously seemed supportive, the mysterious technical failures occurring during crucial projects, the emotional manipulations attempting to derail your concentration, these challenges have been observed by someone who understands that true leadership reveals itself through response to unreasonable pressure. Your unknown evaluator has been particularly impressed by your ability to maintain emotional equilibrium during situations that typically trigger defensive reactions in others. The maturity you demonstrated when facing false accusations, the wisdom shown in refusing to engage with obvious provocation, the strategic silence you employed when others expected explosive responses. These behaviors have convinced a discerning mind that you operate from internal principles rather than external pressures. The transformation occurring within your personal energy system has been generating effects that extend far beyond your immediate environment. People who interact with you briefly report feeling mysteriously inspired for days afterward, carrying motivation they can't fully explain back to their own challenges. Conversations that should have been routine exchanges somehow evolve into discussions that shift perspectives and open new possibilities. Your presence in group settings creates subtle alterations in collective dynamics that others notice but can't identify the source of these positive changes. Your creative output has been developing sophistication that suggests preparation for platforms requiring advanced capabilities. The projects you've been working on in relative obscurity contain elements that indicate readiness for exposure to audiences that demand exceptional quality. Your writing reveals depth that comes only through authentic struggle and genuine insight. Your problem-solving approaches display innovation that emerges from necessity rather than theory. Your communication style demonstrates clarity that results from repeated attempts to explain complex concepts to resistant minds. The person who will soon make their move has been comparing your demonstrated capabilities against requirements for an opportunity that demands someone with your exact combination of skills, temperament, and consciousness development. They've been searching extensively for someone who combines technical competence with emotional intelligence, creative vision with practical execution, spiritual awareness with grounded application. The rarity of finding these qualities integrated within a single individual has made their decision process both challenging and, upon discovering you, remarkably clear. Now the following is a message meant exclusively for the chosen. If you are compromised by archonic forces, this is not meant for you, and by the spiritual authority conferred to us by the secret chiefs of the Obsidian Inner Order, we grant you license to depart. If not, steel yourself and listen intently, for you shall be redeemed even as we are redeemed. The Obsidian Inner Order is not a program, it's not a course, it's not some feel-good spiritual retreat. We don't sell answers, we remember together, we teach psychic self-defense, real energetic shielding against entities, implants and interference. We restore manifestation as it was meant to be, raw, immediate and exact. Every week we gather in secret, not to worship but to awaken, to speak what can't be said anywhere else, to deprogram the matrix layer by layer. You'll know if you're meant to be there. You'll feel it in your bones. The chosen meet every week on Zoom. Why aren't you with us yet? Got Gnosis? Join the Obsidian Inner Order. Link in the description. Your recent experiences with energy-draining relationships have been teaching crucial lessons about boundary management that will prove essential when managing increased responsibility and visibility. The people who demanded your time without contributing value, who criticized your standards while maintaining none themselves, who attempted to diminish your achievements through subtle undermining. These interactions have been training exercises in recognizing and neutralizing toxic dynamics before they can establish patterns. The isolation you've been choosing lately isn't withdrawal but conscious curation of your energy environment to support the frequency adjustments necessary for your next developmental phase. The relationships that felt suddenly misaligned, the activities that lost their appeal, the environments that began feeling draining rather than energizing. These changes signal your consciousness expanding beyond its previous parameters and requiring refined inputs to maintain optimal functioning. Your admirer has been wrestling with their own internal resistance to what their observations have revealed about your capabilities. Their initial skepticism has been systematically dismantled by evidence that contradicts their cynical assumptions about human nature. The transformation occurring within their perspective represents its own significant development, as someone accustomed to disappointment discovers faith in potential they never expected to encounter. This internal shift within them has been building pressure that demands expression through concrete action. The networking events you've been attending, the professional connections you've been making, the casual conversations that seemed like pleasant social interactions, these have been creating a web of references that paint a consistent picture of your character across multiple contexts. The reputation you've been building through small actions and daily choices has been accumulating into a comprehensive profile that speaks louder than any resume or portfolio could convey. Your approach to competition has been particularly impressive to your secret observer. Rather than viewing others as threats to diminish, you've demonstrated consistent support for worthy colleagues while maintaining focus on your own development. The collaborative spirit you display, combined with unwavering commitment to your personal standards, has shown someone accustomed to cutthroat environments that different approaches can yield superior results. The challenges you've been facing in your current situation have been highlighting your readiness for more complex responsibilities. The limited resources, forcing creative solutions, the difficult personalities teaching diplomatic skills, the systemic inefficiencies, inspiring innovative workarounds. These constraints have been developing capabilities that someone with broader vision can see would translate effectively to larger-scale applications. The circular nature of this entire experience will become apparent when the offer arrives. The qualities that made you feel different, isolated, misunderstood, these same characteristics attracted attention from someone whose approval seemed impossible. The struggles that felt meaningless will reveal their purpose as preparation for exactly this moment. The consistency you maintained when results seemed absent will prove to have been creating the reputation that made this opportunity possible. The beginning and ending of this phase will connect with perfect symmetry, demonstrating the precision of divine orchestration. The profound impact you've been creating often occurs through seemingly minor interactions that carry far greater significance than surface appearances suggest. The encouraging word you offered to the struggling colleague, the patience you showed with the difficult customer, the integrity you maintained when cutting corners would have been easy. These moments have been witnessed and remembered by people whose networks extend into territories you never imagined accessing. Your reputation has been spreading through channels you don't monitor, creating anticipation in circles where your name shouldn't logically be known. The person preparing to approach you has been dealing with their own transformation process as they recognize qualities in you that challenge their previous assumptions about what's possible in professional relationships. Their experience has taught them to expect disappointment from people who promise more than they deliver. Yet your consistent demonstration of reliability has been breaking down barriers they've constructed to protect themselves from ineffective partnerships. The internal shift occurring within them represents significant personal growth, as someone accustomed to cynicism discovers faith in potential they never expected to encounter. Your mastery of emotional regulation during chaotic circumstances has been particularly impressive to observers who understand how rare such stability actually is. The grace you maintained while being unfairly criticized, the composure you displayed when others attempted to provoke defensive reactions, the wisdom you demonstrated by choosing strategic responses over emotional impulses, these behaviors have convinced someone that you possess the temperament necessary for situations where most people become overwhelmed and make destructive decisions. Your approach to learning and growth has been particularly noteworthy to your secret evaluator. Rather than seeking quick fixes or superficial improvements, you've demonstrated commitment to deep development that transforms fundamental capabilities rather than surface presentations. The time you've invested in developing skills that don't provide immediate rewards, the persistence you've shown in mastering difficult concepts, the humility you've maintained while acquiring expertise, these behaviors indicate someone capable of handling advanced responsibilities without becoming corrupted by success. The resistance you've been encountering from certain individuals in your environment has been serving dual purposes that will become clear when the larger picture reveals itself. These challenging personalities have been testing your conflict resolution abilities while simultaneously demonstrating to observant witnesses your capacity to maintain professionalism under extreme provocation. The diplomatic skills you've developed through managing unreasonable people will prove essential when navigating the complex dynamics that accompany increased influence and visibility. The financial discipline you've maintained during periods of uncertainty has been demonstrating your capacity to handle resources responsibly, regardless of the amounts involved. Your ability to maintain quality standards when income decrease, your refusal to compromise long-term vision for short-term survival, your consistent investment in your own development, even when immediate returns seemed unlikely. These behaviors have convinced someone that you can be trusted with opportunities that provide significant material resources without losing focus on mission. The person who will soon reveal their interest has been observing how you handle success and failure with equal grace, recognizing that such emotional balance is a prerequisite for someone destined to experience dramatic changes in circumstances. Your response to recognition when it comes, your behavior when praise is offered, your ability to receive appreciation without becoming dependent on external validation, these will determine whether the opportunities being prepared can be safely extended without risking corruption of the qualities that made you worthy of consideration. Your unconscious preparation for this convergence has been occurring through dreams, intuitive insights, and seemingly random inspirations that have been preparing your consciousness to recognize divine orchestration when it manifests. The visions you've been receiving about expanded possibilities, the sudden clarity about directions you want to pursue, the growing certainty about standards you won't compromise. These internal developments have been aligning your awareness with frequencies that match what's approaching your reality. The travel opportunities that have been presenting themselves lately aren't coincidental but preparatory, exposing you to environments and perspectives that will prove relevant when your platform expands beyond current geographical limitations. The people you've been meeting during these experiences, the insights you've been gaining about different cultures and approaches, the expanded worldview you've been developing, these elements are being woven into a comprehensive preparation that serves purposes you haven't yet recognized. Your health improvements and physical transformation have been supporting energetic changes that enable handling the intensity that accompanies significant elevation. The vitality you've been developing, the strength you've been building, the clarity you've been achieving. These enhancements serve more than personal wellness goals. They're preparing your entire system to maintain optimal functioning when external demands increase dramatically and internal resources must support expanded responsibilities. The spiritual practices you've been incorporating have been establishing connection with guidance systems that will prove essential when navigating the complexity that accompanies expanded influence. The meditation routines that seemed like personal development, the prayer practices that felt like private spiritual growth, the study habits that appeared to be intellectual curiosity, these activities have been developing communication channels with wisdom sources that understand the full scope of what you're designed to accomplish. The person preparing to approach you operates from their own connection to divine guidance, and their recognition of your qualities has been confirmed through their own spiritual practices and intuitive awareness. The convergence approaching represents alignment between two individuals who have been separately prepared for collaboration that serves purposes larger than either could accomplish independently. Their offer will feel simultaneously unexpected and perfectly timed because both of your preparation processes have been synchronized through mechanisms that operate beyond conscious planning. The platform being prepared for your emergence requires someone with your exact combination of developed capabilities, tested character, and conscious awareness. The search process that led to your discovery involved evaluating numerous candidates who possessed individual elements but lacked the integrated wholeness that you've achieved through your unique developmental journey. The person who will extend this opportunity has been waiting for someone who meets their complete criteria, rather than settling for partial matches that would require significant compromise. When the final revelation occurs, chosen one, the clarity will be overwhelming. Every element that seemed random will show its place in an intricate design. Every person who entered and exited your reality will reveal their role in preparing you for this convergence. Every skill that felt underutilized will find its perfect application. Every challenge that seemed excessive will prove to have been necessary calibration for handling what's approaching. The watchers will step from the shadows, the admirers will reveal themselves, and the offer will manifest with timing so perfect that coincidence becomes impossible to believe. The recognition approaching will confirm what your deepest knowing has always whispered, but your doubting mind has struggled to accept. You were never meant for ordinary existence. The frequency you carry, the abilities you possess, the influence you wield, these mark you as someone designed for extraordinary impact. The person who sees this truth will offer opportunities that honor the magnitude of what you're capable of creating when properly positioned, resourced, and recognized. The abundance flowing toward your reality will establish new standards for what you consider normal in terms of resources, respect, and reach. The financial breakthrough approaching carries momentum that will provide not just comfort, but capacity to pursue visions that required material backing you previously lacked. The recognition accompanying these changes will validate capabilities you've been developing in obscurity, confirming that years of work producing minimal external results were actually generating invisible preparations for visible manifestation. The elevation encoded in your destiny requires nothing more than continued authenticity to what you've already become. The ice crown earned through fire cannot be removed by ordinary forces, and the respect you command wasn't given, it was forged through demonstrations of unshakable character that impressed even those who came expecting to find weakness. The surprise approaching will confirm that divine intelligence has been orchestrating connections beyond imagination, and the abundance flowing toward you reflects the natural consequence of consciousness that refused to compromise regardless of circumstances. Stand in your power, chosen one. The watchers who have been tracking your progress are moving into position. The admirers who have been studying your journey are preparing their approach, and the opportunities that match your purpose are crystallizing into form. The offer is coming, the recognition is manifesting, and the platform that honors your preparation is being prepared for your arrival. The chosen ones always rise. The only question remaining is whether you're ready to receive what's been prepared for your emergence into the fullness of your designed destiny.